Good time zone, chat. Sorry, got distracted. I was actually on playing, chatting with chat, and then I was making a board game arena turn. Not sure how long I left you on the lurch there, but here we are. Complicated decisions in Tapestry against. Actually, this isn't the one against DT76 and X-Star. Hello. Welcome. Furnace Dragon should silence shortly. Hey, Mama, thanks for that sub. I didn't hear that. Is that my audio not working? Hold on, let me try. Oh, there we go. I heard that. Never mind. We're there. I guess I don't know why I didn't hear Mama's. I heard Samuel's, but not Mama's. Anyway. Tron can't hear me. I hope it's just Tron. Good. Yeah, usually by now, if something's on my end, I've got all of chat desperately trying to get my attention with, let's say, mixed success historically. Hey, I'm going to get right on it here. We're definitely Neoing, but we can do best of one or best of three, so I'm going to ask the early birds on that front. You know, I'm going to check my 17. I feel like I've been on a good streak lately. Not perfect, you know, I've had some rough runs. I had a 1-3 recently, I know that, but I feel like overall I've been doing pretty well in the format. I'm curious where my 17 lands data is right now, so we're going to go look at that. Let's see. Personal records, track your data. Reset this, and then I'll also got to open Stream Deck so I can switch scenes. I did trim the video, the memes out of old memes out of my current Battlefield setup on Streamlabs, hoping that will ease the burden on my PC a little bit. We'll see. It's been very complaining lately. But here, all right, there we go. Now I got my buttons. Now we'll hop over here. So here's my 17 lands data. How am I doing? Well, so overall, lifetime, I'm like 63% match win and 62.4 game win. And if we take a look at Neo, how are we doing in Neo? Yeah, I'm way above my averages here. I'm at 66.1% game record and 76.1 match. And you can see trophied a bunch recently, and yeah, some 3 and 3s here. Here's that 1 and 3, but this one's in progress. Got a couple that are in progress, and then oh, this one's over. Yeah, this one's in progress, but yeah, 7-1, 2-1, 7-1, 7-2, 7-1 stretch was really strong, and then that's really brought up my averages. Like, compare that to Vow. And Vow, I'm at 61.7, 61.3, so check that out. Wow, what a change. I guess this is my format. It's true, Happy. I mean, like, you can adjust for considering the rankings that I'm largely playing against. But that's why I wanted to compare against my historical and my, like, last set, because it was still the case then that I was doing it against silver and gold then. There's doing okay in the platinum areas too. And anyway, let's get back to this view now, and I'll check in with chat on the voting. Oh, split. Well, I did traditional on Monday, so I'm going to do premiere today. Let's do it. Did I spin? Already spun. Oh, that's right. Freebies in the store. Maybe I'll do that before we start, so I don't forget. Hey, Confusion. Hope it's a mild case. Hope you're just asymptomatic and keeping others safe, but glad to have you here regardless. Cheap gold. Thanks for hanging, everybody. Reminder to check out my sponsor, Card Kingdom. Whoa, lightning fast, right into the queue, just like Card Kingdom shipping. They'll get you your order right quick, and it'll be exactly what you expected, plus something else, plus a little bonus, maybe a cool token. Maybe a Ryan Spain rookie card. I think they're probably out of those. I'm not. Let's see. Well, we could start big on the quad blue for a very powerful effect. The untap is real. The sorcery is real. A lot of these effects are enchantments that sit on the creature. So if they have a naturalize effect, they can get their creature back. And this, this, as sorcery just lets you, they can't do, they could bounce it, right? But they can't naturalize their way back to their creature. There's not much pulling me away from it. If there were a real competitor here, I would consider something. I consider a strong piece of removal. I'd consider a gold signpost uncommon. But I don't think anything here is enough better than this to not take it. Prescient comment from True. Here is the chapter 2 that would undo all of our work. I'm cool with a 1/1 flyer for 1 here, especially having started with the Invoke. Ninjutsu has been great for me, so I'm just going to grab that. Yeah, you can't really run it. We're not going to run those in the same deck. That chapter 2, True says it's for this. I mean, it's for this type of ability, right? But really, that's a popular effect, I believe, in Commander, where people are so rude and just take your stuff, and it's nice to be able to get it back. Yeah, this is maybe not even necessarily better than the 1/1 tap common, but if the 1/1 tap common had been in the pack, I would have been excited to take that too, right? Kadama of the West Tree, 3/3 reach for 3 is a fine place to start French vanilla test wise. I've actually had this and did the second part, but it's not, really we're talking a 3/3 for 3 with a little bit of upside. We might just want to stick blue. So this is fine, but maybe, and Specialist is, as Marshall and Luis said, not as special as maybe we were hoping the Specialist would be, but it could still be the pick here to stay blue and to cut blue. And in fact, I've convinced, and to stay kind of ninjutsu, I'm doing it. The Mythic is fine. The Mythic is totally playable, but not quite a reason to pull me off of a monocolored start, because now we can see like the red available and have the ability to slide into red here if we want. Flame Discharge is I think generally going to be a little better than the Surge. Oh, maybe the Surge, I take it back. Like Surge having that potential turn 1 on the draw, kill their 2-drop play is so good. And you just don't get that with the discharge. Companion is not... I get it that it's fine in the ninja decks, but it's just fine. I find that this is my Sad Panda ninjutsu combo piece, not my sweet we did it combo piece. So I'm going to take the Surge on just power level, and then not worry that I might have missed that one. Crab, I like. Backwater sets up ninja colors, and I'd still, Surge is possible here. I hedged there, but this is more likely to see our deck than Surge if we were to take it. But Crab might be good enough to just grab the Crab. It also, again, cuts blue. This somewhat, you could argue that blue duals also help cut blue. I'm going to take the Crab, because I like to cut colors early. Land is a fair... Crab is easier to get, it's true. That's why my reasoning was color cutting more than I really want this spell right now. We can take this land here over another Specialist, but with Specialist and Familiar, I do want to take another blue card. I'm just going to prioritize color cutting early, and then we'll try and pick up some of these lands later after nobody's interested in our colors anymore. I know that color signals downstream are not as important as listening to what our neighbors are sending to us, but they still are relevant. You can really set up for an amazing second pack, and sometimes set up to be one of only, either the only or one of only a couple players in a color at a table. Now, I've had success with the Covert Technician in the red-blue deck. I think I'm going to take it here. Even just ninjutsuing this in on 2 doesn't suck. Another Haven that I would like. But you can, especially if you end up red, pick up the artifacts to make this sing. And sometimes you just play this on 3 on the play, and it's a 2/4, and then they can't put something down that can block it, and then you get free stuff. It's not amazing, but it's good enough here. That's why it's, pick 7 or whatever. Have passed a lot of good duels, though. I'm acknowledging that, and I'm a little sad about that, but I like my reasoning, so I'm going to stick with that. Boar, totally playable as a follow-up to the Surge. Yeah, Technician, man, if you can ever ninjutsu a 2-drop artifact creature of any kind with the Specialist, the Technician, it's extra fun. I'm gonna take the Boar, but I kind of actually like the Return to Action. This is another one I like in the ninjutsu deck, because I think you want to give yourself that damned if they do, damned if they don't scenario. Ninjutsu is obviously the damned if they don't block side of it, but punishing blocks is the damned if they do side, and getting a lot of that in, I like. Had a game yesterday where I used Return to Action on the... I'll take the Centipede over the Short Circuit. I did the return. I cast Return to Action on the Beetle, turning it from a 1/1 into a 2/1 lifelink that traded with their creature and then re-entered the battlefield and made him discard another card. I won that game. This could play. So could the Shrine Steward if we end up in black and get some of the kill, the removal aura. But I'm going to take Protocol on the nothing great consideration, and another Boar here as we just see what maybe our second color might be. I still don't need to be red just because we have picked up a lot of 3 red cards here. Befriending is interesting, kind of a semi combo with ninjutsu. It can give you something evasive to get through for ninjutsu, but then you kind of waste the +1/+1. But it's, we'll take that. I don't think we're gonna end up in green here. Yeah, Colossus, I suppose. over nothing else. I don't like how this has gone so far, but hopefully all that color cutting work we did will help pay off coming up. Not a great start here. I mean, the card I'm most intrigued by here is the Papercraft Decoy, which is... yeah, but then you don't get... that's assuming you're not doing a increased damage from your ninja like the 5/5, or that you have a sabotage effect. Yeah, so touch is the best card here. We do have a befriending. I've never been white-blue. I've never really... I was trying to think of the colors I haven't really played, and honestly, white-blue has got to be my least played color pair in the format. So I'll take the... We'll take the touch. I mean, mainly we're trying to be blue here, but there's nothing we need to take here to keep being blue. Shrine is a ninja enabler. You're not wrong. I expect that we can wheel that, though. I really don't want to first pick that blue shrine. It's not very good. Companion's pretty good if we're looking to lean in the white direction here, and nothing blue worth taking. Right? Because, yeah, we don't want... this swirling mist is not good enough. So, yeah. Well, let's grab this companion. Yeah, exactly. If we, to the extent that we can ninjutsu in this color pair... honestly, successfully ninjutsuing either the companion or the beetle I've done both, but they're pretty rare. It is really a kind of a fist pump moment when the stars align that your opponent has nothing to block your 1/1s with, which is why I really like having the punishing blocking spells in my ninja decks. Assassin's Ink could pull us to the dark side. Ambusher is the ninjutsu mechanic there, but if we're taking a black card, we're taking the removal. We could take Kumano. Although, again, our red isn't so amazing that I'm like looking to do that thing. Yeah, land is interesting too. I'm going to take Assassin's Ink, though. And now, like, probably a Virus Beetle. We could take the Koi. But this is where I'm still filling out a second color. And it could still be just about anything. We're probably going to be light on playables, which is okay in best of one as long as we make playables. So I'm still flailing about, trying to settle on a second color, but I still like taking the best cards, looking for that answer, and then understanding that we may be tight on playables at the end. But here we get to just take a Modern Age and lock in a great blue card. We're going to take great blue cards whenever we can. Lethal Exploit, legit removal, but so is Kunai and goes in literally any deck. We could take the Kunai on playable in anything, but we could also say Lethal Exploit, pack 2, pick 6 is our window to just kind of get into black. Yeah, Kunai does go to face. Anybody want Kunai? We've got Tron on lethal. Mike likes it. I'm going to go Kunai. I like the plays in anything reasoning there. Because, see, we could take the Mechanaut here if we want. We could take the Samurai. I wish this were just the 1/1. Yeah, what do we want here? We can just take Infiltrator if we want to stay in the black lane. I think we do at this point. It is a pretty late selfless, and we do have the Spirit and the Touch. Maybe it's closer than I'm giving it credit for, Mike. I'm going to take the Infiltrator. I think we'll be happy in the Ninja lane here from here. It's not wide open. Yeah, maybe I'm forcing this a little bit. I don't know. It's been a tough draft, though. I think following the Invoke wasn't wrong. It's just been tough to figure out what's been correct about the second color. I'm going to take Decoy here for that purpose. Torment, that plays. I think we're landing on Just and I get a Swiftwater Cliffs. Yeah, we'll take the Cliffs and keep it open. And a Solitude that we might play in that case. Although maybe the Ember Keeper is more playable. Solitude is swingy, but it does some stuff if it gets going. I'll take a Short Circuit. We might be desperate. Might play another one of these two, but the first one is, if I can cut it, I'd like to. You really got to be doing the setting yourself up to attack alone meaningfully throughout the game, and that's just not the best place to be in the format. But if you can do it, if it's what your deck is doing, you can do it. All right, here we are again. I pissed off chat by passing this before. We could take it this time and try to splash. We don't have any tools to splash with it, though, and I didn't take it before because I mean, we can play it for the blue side whenever more and more non-creature permanents are returned to hand, draw a card. Yeah, again, like, it's non-creature. Like, I kind of just want the Modern Age. Am I? Kind of want to. I'm gonna piss chat off again. Forget that thing. Whoa! What is this even? When you cast an artifact, instant or sorcery spell. Ooh! Let's do that and cast Invoke the Winds. Yeah, let's do that. Someday I'll do something with Tameshi, but looks like not this game. Oh, and there was the splash land too. Sorry, chat. Oh, Tameshi is a he. Thanks, Timber. Ninja. I don't know. I think winning is fun. I actually had the Octopus be great in a deck recently. That was fun. But I think we just want the Ambusher here. Really don't have the early attackers I'm hoping for in a deck like this. We're supposed to get those 1/1 flyers. Where are they? I just can't read that card. I can't parse it, so I just pass it. Easy. If you can't parse it, pass it. Thirst, do we have the artifact count? We might take the flare on the splash. Although we have 8 artifacts, I think we can take Thirst. You like another Torment? We have 1. How many do you want to play? I'll take... Oops, did I take the Caves? That's what I wanted to take. Because we have the Cliffs and the Caves, we could actually splash some red if we want. I take this Hacker. But none of this ninjutsu stuff is very impressive without the stuff to ninjutsu with. And we take a Familiar here to help fill out the early curve spots we need to be able to do that. But like if we're cutting the white, we get pretty thin on... yeah, Crab. I do like Crab. We've got one, and I really want 2-drop creatures right now. So I'm taking the 2. But I don't... If you're on Crab, I get it. Here's another opportunity for a Crab. An Unforgiving one can help with ninjutsu. We don't really have the I guess we do have some stuff that could, we could get the 1-drop back if we just modified it once. But I took the flare. I actually was moving up to take the crab. If I could, I would go take the crab. I think crab was the right pick there. I just kind of ran out of time. I'm going to take the sphere here. We do have, or I can take another terrarium, although I don't even, I mean, just because we can splash red doesn't necessarily mean we should. And so I'm going to take the sphere. We know we're blue, and we do have a covert technician that can work with. Return to action, you know I like. Oh, and if I knew another sphere was coming, I would take the return to action there and have the split. But I'll take a second one of these. Yeah, none of this is important. Spell Pierce. I've gotten got by Spell Pierce in the main, and in this format with like all the sagas, it's not terrible in the main. You do, every deck has targets, but it's still something that the game grows away from, and it's still just this terrible late game top deck that makes me not want to main deck it. And I don't, I guess Protocol is playable, but I've ended up really not playing that card, and might play Reality Heist. It's at least card draw, but we really need enough artifact density. I'm not sure we have it, so we'll take a look there. Yeah, rough draft. I don't like where we're at exactly. Flare, yeah, I really wish I just had another crab, because the flare is not really worth playing as just a single splash. This centipede sucks. Right on, Confusion. What'd you get? If you want to share, you don't have to share. It's your personal purchase. Probably means you can cut that too. The terrarium, maybe we keep. Cut a Protocol. That's true. Terrarium helping get the blue needed is totally fair. Although, look at our black. Hell, practically just want to. I mean, we don't even need to play black if we thought the white was better. I mean, seriously. Let's start here and then really take a look at what each color is offering. I guess at least black offers enough. Well, maybe there's enough blue, extra blue. Yeah, we'd have to play some, either splash some red or play some less interesting blue. But this isn't unplayable if you think of it as a 5-drop channel card. And then let's also look at red, because that could either be a second color or a splash. I mean, you could just go Boar, Tempered, Flare, Surge, and that's actually not the worst either. And then black, I like the Beetle, I like the Ink, and it gives us a evasive, you know, the black is underwhelming, but it is the most synergistic. Clawing Torment, creating attack opportunities and killing small things. Ninjutsu, pull on Infiltrator and Beetle, and of course the hard removal and the actual ninja. So, yes, Ink is the only thing that leaps off the page, but it is the most synergistic pairing. So I'll leave it to you, though, chat. Let's at least figure it. You can tell me where to start. On what second color to start with. whether it's going to be blue. Oops, we know it's going to be blue. Black, white, or red as where we're going to start on second color. If you want to splash, but still stick with your secondary color as what you're voting for, and then if you want to argue for a splash, do so in chat. Bruticus suggesting just that. What do you like? You're talking about a mix, almost a... I still think you need to pick what your main is there, which has got to be white. Right? If you're maybe white splashing a couple pieces of removal. Savior, you have more influence than you think. You actually are voting. There you go. See? Look at that. We'll do it. All right, so we're at least starting with red. And I'll put in the ones I'm willing to play here. Are we... Ambitious Assault has been good for me in red decks where I have just some equipment and +1/+1 counters where I know it's going to draw. I don't think we're there, though. There's not much here guaranteeing that we're going to be modified. We've got the Kunai, we've got the Terrarium. But is there anything else that's doing any modifications? Armguard Familiar could, I suppose. Yeah, the Terrarium gives us an avenue to splash, but I want our splash color to be either black or red, because it's the one, like, because of the black-red dual land, basically. I don't want to splash white, because then our only tool to splash it is the Terrarium. So let's just go with this. Let's see how this plays. It's a weird looking deck. Look at this curve. This is just the natural curve of the deck. 3 1s, Icicle at 2, bing, bing, bing on your 3 through 5, and then another Icicle at 6+. Seems reasonable. Well, of course, we can do, if we want to be realistic, we're looking at hoping to do this on Crab, this more on Boar, this on the Specialists, and then Reality Heist, maybe we hope to drop to like a 5. What's our hit rate here? Maybe that's a dream. 10 artifacts with top 7. So 10 artifacts is 1. 10 artifacts in 40 is 1 in 4. So top 7 is right in the middle of that bell curve to hit 2. But we could have the embarrassing situation of casting that and hitting 1. I mean, obviously 0 is possible, but it is quite possible we just swing and miss. To that end, we could look at our other blue options. We do have some other things here. We've got the prototype. We've got... I really can't... I don't want to play this. I've just abused other people playing this, and... but another we could just do Protocol over Reality Heist. Oh yeah, I should look at artifacts, make sure there's nothing. Yeah, just this one. And what are we even getting? Like, we're getting Terrariums, and I guess we're getting Ironhoof Boars. That's okay. I'm going to try it. This you're talking about? Or are you talking about this? No, we'll adjust the lands. We probably knock that down by 1. But see, I think we cut the heist. I think it's too sketchy. Maybe if we play... Well, I guess Boar gives us 2, and Black gives us Beetle, and... Black could give us 1 extra artifact on that whole front. But I don't like the idea of playing these just because of this. These just don't seem good enough. So back to this plan. I think I like Protocol in or Prototype. Protocol or Prototype. Okay. Well, there's some strong Magic opinions out there, Bruticus. It can be hard to tell. You like the Proto? Just, oh yeah, we have two. I will mix it up. If it was the first protocol, I'd go with protocol, but I'll go with prototype, especially since, again, we don't have that much going on at our higher end for interaction, so let's do that. I don't think we're really doing this, and it would be findable by this if we were playing it, but I like the cutting of the heist for right now. All right, and then, yeah, I think we go like this. If anything, we go 9-6. You know, we could even go like this. We're best of one, and then I could even add this back. It's a classic 5-mana unsummoned to the top of library. And it's non-land permanent, so it gets more than just creatures, which is something. But I'm also looking to hit a 7. Yeah, Totally Lost is the recent comparison. But we have we're playing a Terrarium, so I kind of do like being 16 plus Terrarium, even with a 7 we're trying to hit. And I did bring in another artifact here, so I'm going to try actually bringing back the heist, since I added one more artifact. It's on the edge. It might embarrass us sometimes by being an expensive draw one. But I don't know. The deck is it's the bottom end isn't that great. Soggy bottom. And I got Tron on lands. So 10, 11 sources of blue for the tricky Invoke. Yeah, that's true. The the opponent gets some choice that makes it not quite the same, but it's the comparison point if you're trying to convey at a baseline what the card does. Any other? Complete that. Call it done. All right, how are we going to do? Well, we got to keep. I'm going to probably be greedy on the spheres. To that end, if I'm not going to cash this in for a card, I should just disguise it and play a mountain, which is what I'm going to do. Maybe I am being greedy here, though, and with this hand, with a second sphere and this, I should just pay the 1 and draw. I don't know. Anybody else just cashing in a sphere there on turn 1? Nice companion from Oppo. Hold on.
My name is Doug. I have just met you, and I love you. Squirrel!
Really rough. Because now the decoy can't attack through into a companion. Hey, Rob. Attack! Might be worth the card, like, depending what they do here. But leaving 2 up like that makes me think now they're just on the deal 2 to attacker. So, yeah, I suppose at least it's a threat of drawing. So maybe they let it go because they don't want to give us the draw. And then we have 1,000 Face Shadow behind to play. And I don't even need to... I can drop Island Shadow after combat and have everything else available mid-combat. So I'm just going to send... yeah, no, drop Island and Swing, you're right. Because if they don't block, I want to be able to draw both. Good point, good point. Let's see. Hey, we get it. Nice. Nice. Now, do we take the draw, or do we just want to not lose the tempo and replay the creature? Because also if we draw here, let's see, we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We draw and go to 8, and then we play the hack and go to 7. Then we draw and go to 8. So if we draw, we discard. So keep that in mind. We're going to draw off this, draw off this. We do that, double draw, we're discarding. So I'm going to decline to pay and take the replay. Still a good play here. It's always correct to loot when given the option for free. It is not always correct to draw when asked to pay. Hey, we got there, D. 3 years. Thanks, man. Oh, companion attacking suggests they're about to ninjutsu us. But I'm not going to block with a decoy here, so they're going to get it. Mike would block. Eh. I like that result. Let's go ahead and attack and then loot, because we always do that. And then, well, we can flare the Ambusher. I want to leave Ambusher flare mana up, but it might be Shadow, Flare, Cliffs. But I'm going to start with an attack. Ninja Frog and Draw is interesting too. I forget, what does this even do? I should have looked at that. I was thinking... yeah, that's interesting. Well, too late now, so I'm gonna... But I also like... One of the reasons I didn't even look at that is that I really want to flare this Ambusher. I'm not gonna pass this turn without flaring the Ambusher. So to that end, maybe we are just attacking here, rummaging, or looting, and then going Sphere, hold up, flare. Or Sphere, or Flare, hold up, Protocol. And to that end, we can get rid of Cliffs. No, I didn't watch any competitive Magic coverage. Or is that greedy? I'm greedy. And I'm gonna Flare now, while the mana's mostly tapped. And I have the Protocol anyway. I guess with Protocol, maybe that means I can wait. Yeah, I'll wait. And now it's not worth waiting on. I'll just do it now. Oh, that's true. I don't have an auto capture. Here I am. Well, hey, look. True and JC, it says right there in the upper right corner, blue, blue. Duh. So maybe well, clearly I should have played the Shadow, but do I, or a Sphere, should I discard to the Sphere before we untap? Is the question now. And I think with this hand, probably yeah. Well, not going to bounce the companion. But I like, let's see, we can do the send in. I don't care if they block here. I want mana open so that we can do this or specialist. So yeah, let's swing all and let Oppo decide on blocks, and then we'll decide on our actions. Ah, the double. All right, that's cool. We get a decoy draw. Leaving red open in case it was relevant on the draw. Now we can just drop a shadow and a kunai ahead of being able to ninjutsu a specialist or a technician. Oh, so that shadow can set up ninjutsu next turn? That was my thought. We can just drop sphere, I suppose. That's fine too. I just wanted to keep going though, and if we ninjutsu in technician, we can like cast the sphere. So yeah, I like that. I'm gonna do that. We can play the kunai and the shadow and ninjutsu, and then we get this back in hand for shenanigans again anyway. Oppo in the tank. Tap out for a ground-based 4-drop. That'll do. That's what I asked for. And which do we want to do? Let's see. I like, at this point, shadow attack in and actually specialist bounce the ambusher. And then replay the shadow for the technician next turn. You like hard cast specialist. That's fair too. What am I getting out of we get a little more damage by ninjutsuing it though, right? What? Right? I think unless we literally wanted the specialist for blocking, it's slightly better to do it this way, right? Yeah, sphere out and disruption certainly would be fine, but this is good too, because we can still do the sphere out and disruption play next turn. So I'm going back to the shadow. And now, if they do the same play, specialist can attack into the 3-2 quite happily. Here's this suspect reality heist we're running. This feels like a stretch, but there's a reason this deck is called Soggy Bottoms. I think I'm going to play the island just to make sure I have as much mana available as possible. I'm going to attack with both, so I'm not going to hook up the kunai. You have a good bounce with prototype. A couple different suggestions from chat. So, yeah, we could. Which one do you want to knife with? Yeah, I actually like Hat's line because we can kind of do it all that way. And I like getting specialist back to hand. So I'm gonna. Well, yeah, man. 1,000 face in hand is nice too. But using this as our kunai gives us more damage. I'm going to do it this way. I like Hat's line. I guess it doesn't. It all gets the same damage because we're ninjutsuing in the 2 power. So I guess that part didn't matter. But I like the specialist back in hand. Yeah, 1,000 in hand's fair. I don't know, but we're going to be able to do that too, right? That's the beauty. They just keep ninjutsuing each other here. Prototype doesn't really do much for us as an artifact, so we're going to save that as more tempoing. It does, but I don't think that's a reason to play this out when... If it had no other mode, sure, but it's got a mode of reduce the cost of reality heist, full stop, or... interact with an opponent in a card advantaged way or card neutral way, which seems really important. Yeah, they had to banishing slash our flyer just to avoid all of this nonsense. And we can still go... how do I want to do this? Because we could draw, and I guess if I'm just going to prototype. Do we have hardcast bounce? No, 6 total. This is 5. I don't think we have that, Hat, unless you're... Oh, you mean specialist bounce? Yeah. Sorry, I thought you meant hardcast. Doing the channel here. Yeah, okay. Since our ninja that we wanted back in hand is dead anyway, I like that line. Yeah, auto tapper did not screw us here. It's funny. We could put this in for free, but we're going to decline. I like that we either counter something or we can draw. That's cool. If they just replay the Disciple, are we countering that? With Prototype, I'd say no. We'll just draw some cards and then prototype it. Companion, so good, but I'm not going to counter that either. Right, but so they struggle to make a board presence. We let the creature resolve. We draw some cards, we untap, and we reset their board presence again. So yeah, I'm going to let that happen. Oh, beautiful. Could go, if we do prototype though, we're down, we don't have the extra land. Makes me kind of want to modern age almost and see if we can find a land. We can also just swing in. Yeah. I don't love two for wanting myself in this spot. Yeah, let's go modern age. I think that's correct. As a good place to start here. Find another mountain, that gives us some options. Another island. All right, island. Maybe we just get rid of the heist at this point and say, like, we don't really need this. I'll draw off solitude. I'm going to get rid of the heist. I don't think we need it. I'm going to do this. Shields down with the protocol. Maybe I should have found a way to play something red, since we only have the 1 red mana and 2 red cards, but... So... what's the least important thing here? At this point, it might be the Surge, although we can sack... Yeah, maybe we just get rid of the protocol and are like, we'll let Jin Gitaxis do our countering. I love it. Yeah, the Surge. Voltage Surge is our juice. Hat gets the award for the day. Solitude or protocol seems correct. Let's get rid of Solitude. Protocol might matter here. Hey, Jim. Good time zone. It's funny, it does not counter enchantment. So if Oppo has O-ring style removal here... Ah, there you go. I called it, right? Jeez. I mean... that's rough. That's just rough. I still like our spot, but it sure would have been a lot easier if that thing lived. I had to go and summon the thing, but it's, I immediately like I actually was again thinking of white O-ring style removal, but of course, Twisted Embrace being another answer to that card. All right, so big swing here. I believe this is an offer to trade in an effort to get some life, and I think we should just double block the 3/4. What's the worst case? They blow out the double block, gain a bunch of life, and then we have Modern Age as a 2/3 on D and an Ironhoof Boar that we can cast. Yeah, you think they have it? Well, we could also... I kind of want to... maybe there's a way to draw out the trick without setting up for a huge blowout. Like, we've got 6. The trick we're talking about would give it just +2/+2, right? That the 1 mana trick, it would make it a 5/6, right? It would give it a +1/+1 counter and +1/+1 until end of turn. So double blocking still isn't a blowout against that. If it's -3/-3, it's a yeah that's rough, but it's still not even like they kill this anyway. I'm gonna do it. Make them have it. The situation is not untenable if they have a trick here, and at least we get it out of their hand, and then have the other stuff. Yeah, it does kill both with all the added damage. But again, I like making them have it there, and we got rewarded somewhat. And since they didn't have that, I'm going to go with the crab here. We picked up this draw. I like getting the crab down against here and then getting the boar going later as a surprise, potentially as even as the channel to trample over the 5/7. We'll see. I should have attacked first. There was no reason not to send this and threaten, and I still can. They don't have good blocks, but there was no reason to show them no mana while offering them no good blocks. But because they don't have good blocks, it probably doesn't change anything, but just, you know, good habits, good habits. chat with the deep philosophical questions of the format. Oppo tanking. Recovery unit, so they can get back 2-drop creatures or vehicles with this, and recast enchantments with this. Recasting Twisted Embrace could be rough. Let's just make sure we get Narika dead here, and then it won't be the worst. We probably use Surge for that, although maybe I'm overthinking it. Can we just bore? Do we just bore here? 6, 7, 8. With 8 mana, I could hold the Covert Technician back and have Protocol. But I kind of like seeing if they'll double on the Crab. I'm going to send the Flyer and the Crab. And then having the just keeping stuff around is a trick here. But leave Technician back. No reach, right? Yeah, I'm going to send the Flyer. Oh, yeah, they're just going for a chump. If I bore for damage, we're looking at 8 trampling, 8, getting 7, 8, 9. Putting them at close to dead, but with a life linker. Yeah, I think we need to kill the poet, right? Then we have Protocol up. Should leave this around for... They can recur the Companion. I don't really care if they recur the Companion. Right now we're winning in the air and with Trample and stuff. They can spin wheels on Companion and that's fine. I don't want them to get Twisted Embrace back. That's the problem. Yeah, we do have another Modern Age, but this is... I just decided in the face of 0 Hourglasses to not mess around and just play out my land so that I don't have that regret later. Ooh, pausing. Oh, I was pausing for crew, not for the one mana trick. Could even counter the Companion if we wanted to deny the blocker, but they've got a chump anyway. Yeah, I'm going to block the unit. We got Protocol if we feel that saving whatever, saving it from stuff matters. And yeah, let's save our Crab. Oh, yeah. Hold on. We can still make him do it. I just got hasty, but we can make him do it. It's nerve-wracking, right? You don't want to... It's so hard not to just counter it and let things resolve. You're like, ah! Yeah, we can go into full control to be sure. That's fair. We'll do that. Just to be sure. Don't screw me, Arena! I'm sure, Jim, but, you know, it's so scary. It's so scary. But look, we get to tap an untapped artifact we control. Good attacks coming in now. And Invoke really just maybe even gives it to us. We take the Kitsune and give Trample to the Crab. I'm going to start there anyway. Although I should figure it out. Maybe we just have lethal without it. So because this is trampling and gets through, even if they, this gets through at least 2. Yeah, if they double block, it's not lethal. So I'll go ahead and, or they block twice. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and, oh, not that way though. Auto tapper. I just didn't want to do this play if hard casting Ironhoof Boar and attacking was straight lethal, right? That would be silly. So I was at least trying to make sure that wasn't the case. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Our weird little deck notched a win. We'll take it.
Thank you. We got one!
Champ is here! The champ is here!
Yeah, it's a weird magic rule that doesn't make a lot of flavor sense. I don't know what the consequence would be that would be bad if you just changed the rule to you know, if it entered the battlefield this turn, it has summoning sickness, and if not, it can attack. I mean, I think it would mostly be okay. I don't know. All right, I'm going to keep this, and I'm going to be a grown-up here. We're going to cycle on Sphere so that we can find the, you know, we need more land. So we're going to look for land with Sphere and Modern Age, but keep. Yeah, it would change power level, but what would it break? Most things that are stealing, like there's some stuff that would become more powerful, but mostly you could kill a lot of words on cards that are giving the things haste anyway. Yes, I get that. I mean, it's obvious that it would up the power of control magic, but like, would it really break anything is what I'm saying. Well, that thing is rough to see on 1. That's a way to lose some games of this format. Prototype can reset something though, and well, let's get aged. Well, we need more than 3 land, so pitching land is a bit greedy, but we also need more than blue, so we could pitch island hoping to eventually find mountain. But I'm actually on probably just get rid of one of the red cards. I don't look like I have anything attacking anytime soon. So, well, maybe this... Actually, Tempered in Solitude with an attacking Modern Age could be important. I'm going to be greedy. We got another loot coming. And we got a land in hand, and we really do want to find a mountain. So I'm going to be greedy. But I admit, it's greedy.
Point is, ladies and gentlemen, that greed is good.
All right, well, now I want to get to 7, so I'm going to keep all my land and figure out which card to drop. Boy. Again, if we find a mountain on top, we're really going to want a tempered in a next with the modern age eventually. I don't think that's the case. This I had a deck that went 7 wins that had 2 of these because I had 3 or 4 1-drop creatures, and it was a low to the ground blue-green ninja deck, and it was great in that context. Sorry, yeah, let's get back to this. And I agree, let's get rid of the boar. If we don't find red, we'll be happy to have gotten rid of a red card. And if we do find red, we're really going to want the Solitude as the starting point. I like that we have a counterspell in hand here for this turn. I mean, it has to have a job. It has to be, you have to be supporting it. But maybe I should have countered the, sorry, I have a counterspell and I'm not really using it, but this thing is the scariest, so I'm actually going to counter that. Look at that. And that's the thing, that's the underrated part. It adds more counters to your board. That's what I kept doing with this thing in my green-blue ninja deck. It was really effective. But it's not always going to be. How's it get 6? They're on 5, right? Yeah, well, can't attack anyway, so I guess we're going to threaten to block the Stalker. Yeah, I'll give you this, Magic Star. You have to be trying to do what Oppo is doing to run this thing. You don't just throw this in a green deck. You better have the turn 2 ninjutsu plan in effect. And I will take this block. I don't know what we do here. Like, I can't let him get a counter on the Greater. So now we're gonna Modern Age looking for more land, so we can prototype away the Tanuki, almost certainly getting rid of the Reality Heist. I can't imagine a draw that we would pitch over this. Yeah, like I don't care. Like, I'd rather have, eventually, if we find a mountain, this is going to be important. Reality Heist, we're not ever going to have time for or mana for. Ginger here is next. Yeah, Invoke would be a nice draw if we can find a 5th land. Another visitor, you know, this is why I countered that one. You dump Solitude next, fair enough. I mean, both of these are not going to be useful this game, right? It almost doesn't matter. But you're right that right now we're closer to casting Jin here probably than Tempered. Although we're probably closer to finding a red land than any 2 land. That being said, I agree. Let's ditch the Solitude and be happy we got some prototype action. Let's start with actually specialisting this back, and then we'll prototype it later. Oh, prototype in response to attack is good too. I like that. Yeah, let's do that. That's fair. Either order. Whenever we prototype, we should do it on attacks, and then at least this lets them. I like them putting another counter on, although they might put it here. But let's give them a chance to put it in a place where it's beneficial to us. Nah, they spread it around, but oh, well, yeah, they continue to spread it around. I would go on the smallest thing here, yeah. Oh, you gonna go big? Yeah, do it on the small thing. Oppo playing correctly as far as I'm concerned. One mana could be the, yeah, Could be a hexproof. Oh, brutal. Well, you gotta tip that cap. Come on. Moving on. Bad hand with a medium deck against an Oppo curve out. We were never in it. Yes, that was it was part of the package. I mean, I don't know how that game plays out if you replace that with an uncastable, you know, the Queen of Spades. You replace the 2-drop ninja with a Queen of Spades. I don't know how that game goes exactly. Sphere. I'm going to give myself the option to cycle the sphere. I'm not sure if I'm going to yet. Really hope we find a different creature to play on 2. And given that I'd really like to find something else to do on 2, I am going to do it. I'm going to cycle it because I want something else to do. Technically, that is something else to do. But it's not what we were hoping for. I'm still going to play the hacker. A little weak, but we can, and we have Boar and Kunai potential with it. I've cycled this plenty. I think the cycle for 1 is a sweet and key little mode on this card. I wonder if they let us attack here. Given, I think we just play Solitude and attack. And if they want to trade off the hacker for their cheapener, that's fine. Nice. Always loot. And heist, again, I think is where we don't want to be here. Maybe we get to cast this eventually, but again, it's just not... I don't know. I should probably take this out of the deck. So far, it seems like its main job is to be my discard for modern ages. Sling is annoying, but the Boar lets us trample through it, so we're going to do that. Nice. Boar and Cast Familiar is a fine turn. Now, they've got open mana too. Oh, they're not doing it. Well, I could Specialist, but I would like to cast this Familiar, so I'm not going to take the free Specialist. We'll take the Rummage, or the Loot here. Well, if they go for trying to kill it here, then we, of course, can Specialist. Oh, baby. New plan. Sorry, Familiar. We're going to skip you this turn. And let's send this back. Yeah, this is like a 10-11 artifact deck, Jim. So it's not great. It's not, or maybe it's even 8. Like it probably shouldn't be in here, but it's not a great deck, and it has a rough bottom end, frankly. But Island equip Kunai, sure. Let's do that. Surge. I think we just attack again with the Surge and the Boar and the Hacker and everything. And the Tempered. Great flip off the Solitude. It's all we really want to do. And yeah, let's bore and save it. Yeah, let's kill the octopus, submit 0. Thank you for that sub, Duked. Appreciate it. Oh yeah, sorry, I had an opportunity to do that last time and forgot.
I just want to live in a glass box alone. That's all I want. Give me your tank!
Yeah, I'm gonna play the hacker. Just letting the meme resolve there. Draw an island. Ooh, what's this? Yeah, that can't be crude, so that's no big deal. This is sweet. I'm going to read the ninjutsu now. Reacquaint myself. When this enters the battlefield from your hand, so when we ninjutsu it, if it's attacking, create a token that's a copy of another target attacking creature. It enters tapped and attacking. So we could, well, let's see what they block. Although we could also attack with just one. Yeah, but if we swing both, we're guaranteed to 1,000. So let's do that. And they're damned if they do, damned if they don't. They block the hacker, we bounce the sling, and if they block the specialist, we get an extra card for free. Oh no, and actually it bounced. I have it backwards, right? Because the ninjutsu thing is going to go away, and whatever's left will be copied. Complicated. As usual, this archetype breaks my brain a bit. And we could just bore it. But I think this is a fine trade. That we trade off here and we get a token. This sticks around. That's fine. But I also want to leave red up so that we can have a bore if we find a land here. Yeah, I'll leave Bore Mana up over equipping Kunai. I mean, I guess there's very few things that do 1 point of damage, so any red source that's going to deal 1 is going to deal 2 and kill it, but I don't know, I'm just heuristics. We can invoke that, but I'd rather just snare it. That's true. It saves 1 from that weird 3 mana spell. Yeah, I could have just done Bore. I'm being a little bit playing with my food, aren't I? I've been thinking of this as like a combat trick, but it really should just be attacking for the win. Then, this is interesting. Invoke or Crab? Invoke is super powerful, but Crab counters anything major that they would want to do. They can play Puzzle Maker, though, and we can't counter it. So probably just ditch the Crab. And I'm going to go ahead and suit up this as the least amount of damage, so that if we need to throw 3 at something next turn, like if they do nothing, we could even yeah, it's possible they do something that can't be stolen, but given that the play we know they have was not stoppable by our counter, it would be folly to have kept the counter. That seems like a good steal. Although they will crew up their vehicle before we are done. So maybe, again, overthinking, I just bore and win. Seems correct. Or win-ish. Like, basically, bore becomes must block. These deal 4, and this deals another 3. Ooh, except, oh yeah, we even have exactly the 1 mana to do it. So yeah, I'm just going to do that. I think this wins us the game. Too much for Oppo to block here. I guess it depends on this card. A red removal spell here could give them some play. Not you, Shadow. You're gonna chuck a lightning bolt. Oppo agrees. It's like the least on-plan red-blue deck I've ever had. Usually, the red-blue decks I've had have been pretty artifact-y, and this is just like part ninjas and then some red stuff. This is not a great opener, but I'm not going to throw it back with both our colors and a mix of spells and land. If we can find a 2-drop, starts to look good, and if nothing else, we can flare a threatening 2-drop from them if it's worth it. Boy. I do not like using Flare on a decoy gang, but with this hand, I also don't like sitting here, taking how much damage from a decoy while we try to get a specialist online. I think we need to just suck it up, kill this thing, because we're probably doing nothing next turn, so that we can at least specialist something on the turn after. I'm going to do it. I just couldn't see starting the game on turn 4. That didn't feel like it was going to be good for us. Look at all this red. We do have a lot of islands in the deck. Invoke, I'm looking at you. We're going to go ahead and bounce that. Yeah, they get 2 more life, but it's worth it for the tempo. And again, I'm not going to not do nothing. I mean, I guess I get Sphere, but... Oh, they get a card because it leaves. Yeah, that's true. Never mind. I will Sphere then. Which means I shouldn't have played the mountain yet. Oh no, it doesn't draw now anyway. So it is what it is. But this has been a terrible sequence for us. Again, I don't know anybody who's mulliganing the hand we had. It just has too much potential to draw, but we haven't really drawn well, and Oppo's played stuff that doesn't match up well to what we were doing. Hey, Math, thanks for the sub, and good to see you here. We can do your listen up if you're going to be around. Now I can bounce that thing, but they can replay it, and boy, this is just tough. I kind of want to draw... At 18, I'm going to draw here. I don't like any of our plays. Unstoppable Ogre is slight tempo. Yeah, I like this better. Threaten the Ogre with a decoy. That worked out, and they held back their Ogre. All right, terrarium to help out with the invoke won't be terrible. But we can also start asking questions. I think they just block the boar if we go boar here, but we can go specialist. Yeah, I guess we swing first. I'm just thinking about after. Yeah, let's start with the swing. Certainly not making a 6-drop boar and attacking. And then, yeah, now I'm willing to do the draw a card, bounce it play. Kind of wanted to loot this away at some point, but I'm also not going to leave lands off the board at this point in the game. Ugh. Let's see. 6 mana. I spend 2 on the terrarium. I go get an island. We prototype away the specialist so that we don't lose badly to that on untap. Then they recast it. We get lucky, draw our 4th island, and steal it. And that's going to be my plan. It's going to start with a specialist attack, though, because if they want to block, we have the boar play. Ooh. Okay. We can go ahead and hacker that and then just hard cast this instead of having to go prototype. I didn't know they were... I mean, we could have figured they were not going to block because it's such a valuable card. But I wasn't sure. Oh yeah, I can go full control. Although for 1 more mana, I should just leave it on board, right? Because we have 4, 5. Did we play? We haven't played a land this turn, so I can still terrarium to get an island. Yeah. No. Yeah, that still works. There's our, and cool, we got our 4th island. How about that? All coming up Millhouse here. I guess I could have even gone decoy, and we could have gone terrarium invoke next turn, but this is fine. Besides, we want decoy after we steal the specialist, right? One mana off of doing everything right now, like stealing it, decoying it, and copying it, but we don't do that. But yeah, we're doing this right now. I just am not like, we got to get this this done, and I can make the specialist big enough to attack into the mender, or I can play the decoy. But again, we want to do the decoy thing later. So yeah, let's go ahead and terrarium the specialist and try to get in. Oh, that's true. We don't have the 4 king mana anyway. Not only 3 mana, but no blue. Mike says drop decoy. I like that play. That gets a point in now. And in effect, by getting an extra point in next turn, I mean, that got an extra 3 in. So, yeah, they did what they had to do, but that's still great for us, right? Yeah, that was the plan. The forking pigs was incoming, but they got us. As it is, we'll go boar decoy here. Let's see if we can beat this stupid thing. Yeah, I could have been thinking about 5 toughness, I suppose. Against red. That's a reasonable thought, but so was, you know, getting damage in right now, getting them dead. Because also, if they do spend their whole turn undoing our rare, it's still good for us, right? We just have, we've put too much work on them. Yeah, we don't even need to cast a boar. We'll cast a boar for 4 by ninjutsuing a 1,000-face shadow. And have a crab backup plan, or even a prototype backup plan, right? Let's see, 9. Yeah, we can ninjutsu and prototype here. So maybe just... although I'm going to hold the crab. I think it's probably better to protect our crab play, or protect our ninjutsu play with the crab. So just going to send in and figure ninjutsuing and making a second trampling boar is going to be awfully good here. And then we still have, I mean, this is instant speed, so we can still do this if we need to, especially given trample. The interaction between bounce and trample is great because they block your trampler, you bounce it. Normally that means no damage gets through, but trample gets all that damage through. And I think we decline to pay here so that we can keep the prototype up, although we could pay and still have crab up. I guess with only 3, yeah, like, it was always just going to be doable this way, so all hail keeping the counter up. We did it all, including win. Hooray. All right, 3 wins with a deck I was raising an eyebrow at. Feels good already. See if we can add a 4th with our foul to give yet. Yeah, not how we thought we were going to double the ham, but we did get some extra bacon. I know I've got coffee. I know it. I can feel it. I'll be right back. Perfect. Something to do on 2 besides Kunai hold up Surge. I'm going to keep playing my islands, given our deck. I think I ditched the boar out of these options. As a short-term play, I prefer the Kunai and the Surge to interact with, and Crab to interact with Oppo, and long-term play seems far off. Interesting. Here, I think we just ditch the terrarium. We got our lands covered nicely, even close to the 4 we need. And Oppo looks to be doing a aggressive curve out type thing with stalkers, although terrarium is a free play with technician. So there is that. Yeah. All right, I'll be greedy along with Rob and Mike, and we'll ditch the mountain. That's fair. Because terrarium, I mean, I like actually just hard casting technician here, and then blocks the stalker and threatens a crackback. And I will block. It does put us in a position where we basically have to block with the technician, but I'm gonna make him have it. We'll block. I mean, if they send though, I mean, it really is, they wouldn't do that without tools. So we can ask ourselves what it means for us. Although I like not having 3 because that makes suit up not possible. All right. Now we get to send in technician. If they block, it's super bad for them. Do I... Yeah, I don't need to play a land first. I'm just going to send technician. Muted? I'm not muted. Are you muted? Hope I'm not muted. And only 1 red card. They know about the island, so I'm going to play it out. And then we can play kunai, but if we do, it's suspicious that we haven't equipped it. But it's already suspicious that we haven't cracked the terrarium, but I'm just going to leave Surge and counter up. Then blocking with Glider here is great, although I may Surge pre-block so that there's no ninjutsu chance. Prowler. I don't care about these cards yet, although at some point I should just counter because we're trying to 1-for-1 our way to victory. Close to getting, I mean, we're at 5 mana. We might hard cast the shell. Anybody countering this? Well, we can see what they give Death Touch, but then we have to let it resolve, whereas the crab could just counter this right now. It's not super weird. It's just somewhat. I'm gonna counter it. Just Surge the Death Touch target, but then they've got a Prowler. I just figured I would counter their Prowler. And Surge the Stalker or the Hacker? I'm going to Surge the Hacker. Look at that, sweetie. I'm going to throw this on the Technician. Because we're going to look to ninjutsu the Glider if we can. Rob says just attack. And I guess we may draw cards off of that that give us something to do. Yeah, we can leave this back to hold the Kanai. All right, I'll do this to give us maximum chances here, but I like... Oh, man, let's drop this sphere. That'll be so sweet. Look at all this value from this Technician. Another Modern Age. Let's power that out. Pitch one of these lands. I know which land I'm going to pitch. Really squeezing value out of the Double Modern Age and the Technician. It's been a fun game to pilot because getting just little edges like with every move. I love it. I like against a ninja deck having blocks. I hear you are, Rob, but you know, who cares if Oppo attacks with Snake? Oppo's us when Oppo has good ninjas. Hey, look, I'm gonna cast this thing. I'm gonna do it now. Actually, I can do it after we attack with this again. If this gets through, then I'll reality heist before combat damage. It's instant, so we get to do it here. See? Well, we finally cast the darn thing, and it actually drew us 2 cards, so that's cool. I'm going to equip the kunai and be ready with a lightning bolt as opposed to anything else of our options. If Oppo's on Activate Chef, we're in a good spot. Ooh, Season of Renewal, always value-laden, but ultimately clunky, a little slow, so maybe we can... Now they have a ninjutsu we can't stop here if they want to do that. So, you know what I mean? Ooh, what's this? This is rare, I don't even know. Okay, it's a bounce spell on Chapter 1. And if they return our saga, that's actually kind of fine with me because we'll pick something off and then return an artifact card from your graveyard to your hand if you can't draw a card. This seems, I'm surprised they went with this. This seems fine to me. Let's see where they go with this. And then we'll fire off the kunai. I kind of like the stalker. The chef represents some long-term value, but kind of whatever in the short term. It might be the thing to get, though, if we are worried about it long term. Yeah, I guess I'm going to do it just because it is pretty annoying for them to have a tool to draw cards. So I'm going to do that. The thing, if this gives itself a counter, so I'm somewhat playing a longer game here, but we have the tools to win that longer game, so that's why I did that. I'm not sure it's correct, but that's my thinking. And I'm going to Modern Age again here to start, since we have an island to pitch, and then we can see about Sphere or other plays from there. We can Sphere and Still Familiar, or Sphere and Terrarium. If we attack Technician, we can cast Familiar for free, so let's do that for sure. And now I'm at the point of asking myself whether, you know, at what point do I start just trying to get extra damage in off the Terrarium? But I think I still like cards and, well, I guess maybe we get both if we're doing that. So yeah, I'm going to do it, but if we get cards, I guess I should crack this first, and then that answers everything, right? Let's crack this. Yeah, sorry, Mike's on that already. I got there. Interesting. Doesn't change anything, though. We're still sending. And playing something for free, and then we can play the other one. Hard cast. I guess it's the same deal. Nice to have this at the ready now. Steal their stalker and start putting counters on our stuff. Although I don't... How many beholds do I have to play this stupid event? I guess if I keep beating them all, that's fine, but this card, man. Like, I'm just going to give them the attack. They don't get another counter. Ah, nice. So I'm going to discard the mountain, and gotta love ninjas the turn after a behold, because we can send in our O power and create a 2/1 draw card. And that's a nice little play. It even leaves us with invoke if we want to invoke this thing. Artifact or creature, kind of want to wait for unspeakable, but maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, let's use decoy for the card. Good call. No reason to send anything else, though. I like cards. You like cards? Who likes cards? Cards for everybody. I know we got rummaging, but we actually played both of our modern ages, and we actually have places to put all this upcoming mana, so I'm not going to be greedy. We're going to run that out. And then decoy. Maybe it's time to throw this terrarium on something. Maybe it's time to put it on the flyer, put it on a flyer, try to get there in the air. I mean, this is going to be pretty big, though. Still, we can throw the familiar on it, you know, equip it up, get this thing to be a 5/5. That's going to tussle with a behold. Oh yeah, steal the breakthrough. I forgot about this thing becoming a creature. Hopefully they don't play a 5-drop here. They got 5 mana. They could. White. Black. So they double splashing here. We see a black card. I don't know what the white is for. What if Syriana and Tron have been playing Magic against each other and not even known it? Oh no! Look how good that thing is for Oppo. Ouch. Do we need to steal that? Eh. This says we might be able to maybe just go boar at 11. Let's see. Well, this flyer attacks in through that one. Well, I don't know how obvious. Is it obvious? Because we could prototype it and make it go away that way. I just want to make sure it's because this is also going to be a real problem. Although this is the one where we could also, man, giving him back a behold. It just feels like we're going to steal one and we're going to prototype the other. So let's make sure we're doing the right one. If we let them cast this after we've stolen a creature of theirs, though, they get to take it back. Yeah, maybe just like that's what I was looking at. Like, because we get this in anyway. Yeah, I'm with Mike. That's why I was saying it's not obvious. I actually think this is the line. We can even. Doing that at least, and then might even just swing away. Like, why not just this? And if they want to eat one of these things, fine. I think it's this. Eh. Let me know how it goes, Oppo. I mean, this looks great to me. Now, Shadow, given our expectation that we're stealing this, or yeah, I think so, because if our play next turn is this, then we might as well play this out now and have an extra attacker with Oppo at 3. They got to do some real work in the air, or this is ours. That's true. 5-drop could make the whole thing fall apart. I'll be surprised if that's their line, 1 5-drop. I guess it could be a 5-drop. I didn't know if they played a land. Maybe they could play a land and go 5-drop, 2-drop and have it make sense. We also have Prototype as a backup invoke plan, right? Yeah, as Mike just observed. So it looks pretty good. I kind of, actually, given that, I kind of hope they come up with 1 5-drop creature to try and stop everything. But like a second copy of Behold would be backbreaking. That would just be, ugh. And he literally cast a 5. My gosh, there you go. Well, I still think it's okay for us for the reasons expressed, but that's funny that they come up with the 5er. This thing seems like it can do some stuff in the long haul, but is tough to use super effectively. But yeah, I think we just bounce 1 and win, but let's see what they do here. If they go Shrine, kill 1/1. Oh, it was too late. Ah, they couldn't kill it. Great. I thought they would have had it there, but they can't. It was too late to do the minus. Yeah, we can still channel. Whew! Snuck that one through. Four wins, no complaints today. I can't remember what the par poll came out at, but I would have called this a 3.5, so I think we're over par now from my perspective. Although, wait a second. Really, the Modern Age is helping us mitigate some of the weakness at the bottom end of the deck has been nice. And to that end, though, I just feel like mostly I've been discarding this card, and we should get it out of the deck. Reality Heist needs to go for just about anything. Another counterspell. Another land. But I guess Protocol is really the only other reasonable playable. I don't consider the Guardians a reasonable playable here. Neither more red stuff. Math likes the black. We could try that too. Hard to say this hasn't been working though, and the red side has been pretty good. We haven't been main decking Shatter, but we could, since he has a backup plan of at least being a +1/+1. We could also switch to black if we want to try that. I'll pull red to stay red, black. Well, I'll just do all the splash colors again. So red to stick with red, or black or white to switch. But if we stay red, almost regardless, I'm cutting the keeping the Reality Heist cut. I did have Reality Heist in a 16, 18-ish artifact deck, and it was great. It was always 2 mana, and it got me good stuff. All right, chat wants to try black. Let's just do it this way. Definitely those. And then that's 24. That's pretty easy. Just call that the deck. Yeah, 3 color is a possibility. I just don't think the red would be the only one I would want to splash with the 2 duels and the artifact. But I don't know that the red burn spell is worth splashing. Doesn't feel like it. Let me keep this. Double protocol is kind of like ugh, but we do have a decoy or infiltrator into ambusher. Probably infiltrator is the more likely to get through. And we can't do the decoy draw 2 ninjutsu for 2 anyway. That plan wouldn't work. Right on, Gar. Glad you appreciate it. Although I should have played an island out. I mean, we need to infiltrator, but with the protocols, just heuristically, I should have probably started on blue. And here we are, and I am going to stick with my guns. We're going to infiltrator to give us the biggest chance of getting through here. Especially because the decoy successfully getting through on the ninjutsu does not give us any special value. That thing's annoying, and we may just... Oh, we missed on land, though, too. I was going to go, like, kunai, equip, chuck it, but we didn't even get there on land, so this is looking ugly. We could send the infiltrator, but they're blocking every time, right? That just seems suicidal for that poor feller. Probably... I'm going to play a familiar... Although, I mean, this blocks everything we're doing. Yeah, if we find a land, we can do the kunai play again and get through the archer. Never mind. Well, still same thing. I'm trying to get to the kunai play. I'm going to modern age, almost certainly discarding a protocol. All right, let's see what value they can get out of their Weaver before we try to pick it off. Find some other way to deal with an archer, because this Weaver is serious biz. I haven't had this card in a while, but had it a couple times early in the format, and unkilled, it went nuts in the green-white deck, which our opponent, of course, is showing. Torment. Boy, probably just another protocol, really. Although maybe we get rid of the decoy at this point. But probably blocks and draws. Yeah, Claw of the Defender is great, right? So we're keeping the Claw. I'm just trying to figure out if we're keeping Claw, keeping Land, keeping Ambusher. So then it's one of these two. And I think Decoy probably helps us get their long game better than Protocol by being effectively a 2-for-1. Although if it's just chumping, it's not really doing that much. Maybe we do just want the Protocol. All right, I'm going to ditch the Decoy. Final answer. Can even do Torment, Hold Up, Protocol. So that's... Although we really got to kill the Weaver. Yeah, I would like to hold up counter, but we really need to... well, we can kunai on the Infiltrator, kill with the Infiltrator, and still hold up Protocol. Let's do that. We don't need to Torment the Reach yet. I think the thing to remember is that we don't need to do that this turn. The Torment, but I am going to kill this while shields are down. Go for something huge and backbreaking that we can counter. And we can counter it. It's not huge and backbreaking, but with them almost on 6, probably good enough. I'm not going to do nothing here. So, not the best here. We can't ninjutsu and stop the blocker, but we'll still do that. We'll still do the blocker stopping. And could send just the Infiltrator and threaten a double block here, but it would be a 2-for-1 double block. So I'm just going to start on the race here and hope that between removal and lifelink that we can flip the race to our favor before this ends. And heck, maybe the race is in our favor right now, like if literally nothing changes just on the strength of the Claw and the other stuff cracking back. But of course, things are going to change. We don't know exactly what this board is going to look like by the end of the game. That's a nice play. We really want to swamp now. All right, that kind of qualifies. I can get it and do the ink now. And with this big amount of damage, that probably makes sense. Let's go ahead and Terrarium, getting a swamp, killing one of the preservers, and getting in our damage. As I said, it kind of keeps that whole thing I was saying of last turn where we might be ahead if things effectively don't change, and that's what we're kind of trying to do, is reset the board to where it was in our favor. Big turn. Let's see what they got for 6. In green can obviously be quite scary. Super real.
Ain't that a kick in the head?
Well, let's get some lifelink back at least. And yeah, familiar, so that we're keeping on the aggression train. Yeah, next turn we can make it a 4-3. And that could be enough. I mean, what cards do they have? It all depends. A couple of lands here, we're in great shape. A couple of medium-sized creatures, and we're doomed. What? Boords. Wow, in a season. Yeah, 2 lands versus another piece of removal and a 2-for-1. What do you... cards matter. I think there might be... I don't know if I have it... I feel like somebody made it, but maybe I didn't hook it up. I don't know. Did somebody make me a Boo Earns? I can't remember. If you made it and it's never made it in, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm supposed to actually cycle the sphere. Do we have time to cast and crack this? Not really. We need to, like, cycle this and hope. Yeah. Well, looking super ugly for us. But we can put 5 points of power out so that we don't lose to a... Or we can trade for a Preserver even with the Weaver in play next turn. Can we do that, though? It's 4 to equip, right? Yeah, can't do that. So, it is what it is. I mean, hey, maybe we just get there on the claw. Wouldn't that be great? Just somehow survive for 6 pings of the claw. I mean, I think it does start here, though. This is brutal, and we need to top deck because we can't cast this guy. But we can't take 5 and expect to win from here. So 2 blocks. Cross fingers. The Beetle. Maybe I'm supposed to take this first swing. Yeah, especially if they're going to do that, because it's going to be potentially more damage next turn. Oh, and they went for that play. Interesting. Oh, trample, trample, trample. Yeah. Not great, Bob. Another place where I think we have to cycle this. What are our outs? We're looking for... Invoke doesn't do it because I can't do it and have the mana. Specialist buys us some time, which we can do off of the 1. So yeah, we cycle looking specifically for one of our 2 specialists. Nope. Now with the trample, that's going to be game. I'm going to not... I'll make him do it, I suppose. They just have shown that they've got it figured out. So if they hadn't done it last turn, I would think maybe they might not see it. But they've already shown... If they just execute the exact same play last time, they win. So... But you never know. Sometimes people get really weirded out by cards and mana and play conservatively when they don't need to. So, you know, make them do it. Well, I feel like we've lost twice to good decks doing good things, and 4 times have taken a medium-ish deck and made it work. Good job, gang. Stick with the black here. We switched to black and lost immediately, but I don't think it's the fault of that switch. That was just a tough opponent and a tough draw. See if I got any orders to ship. Yep. Couple of orders. All right. This is a keep. Kunai into familiar. Not great for our purposes, but I don't know if we are... I guess, let's see. Do we want a counterspell up for next turn? I'm going to say no. And that means... And you know what? They can even attack with the Renegade. I'm not going to worry about this card for a turn, and I'm going to suit up the Kunai and play out a Sphere. That's going to be my sequence. Oh, sorry, Math. Are you going to be back tomorrow or Friday? If you're going to be here Friday, I'll wait till Friday. If not, I might just do it, and then you can check out the VOD or something, but I like to do it when the person's here. So I can wait if you'd like me to. Have a good meeting. I mean, we've waited 3 months already. What's another couple days? Torment gives us attacks and starts damaging them and allows us to keep up the protocol. Seems good to me. Can crack the Sphere at end of their turn if no protocol. Hello, Clara. I am live. I guess I could have countered that. I was a little distracted and didn't stop to think about it, but I like the no counter. I think this isn't a super big concern. Although, I don't know. Maybe I should have picked it off while we could, but we had an alternate thing to do, so I like this. We could... I kind of just like play island, pick off samurai with the kunai, and then have ink and protocol up. Not both, but, you know, either. And then maybe we can get the familiar in for the hacker ninjutsu. Depending. Obviously, it can't just straight attack through a glider, but we'll see how this turn plays. Maybe we end up picking off the glider. Oh, ninjutsu here, huh? Oh, no? I wonder what that was about. I gotta watch for that. Reality chip is awesome, but we could let it resolve and just pick it off with the ink. But also, this costs more mana, so let's use the more mana-intensive solution right now. Obviously, we could invoke, but is that what we want to invoke? I think I'm on Ink, Attack, Ninjutsu, Hold, Invoke. This isn't an amazing Ink target, but I am looking to press an advantage here. And with a 2-for-1 on anything they draw behind with a card draw coming, I just think we get far enough ahead that I'm willing to use premium removal on a not premium target given the entire context of this game. But there's risk to it. We may wish that we had this ink come several turns from now, but I'm going to go with my gut that this is a worthwhile time to do this. Oppo keeps pausing, so I'm ready for removal to mess up my day here. But again, make him have it, do it, show it, and then be one card down. Yeah, so they had to do that now, and then they lost the value of hard casting that to get a 2-3 reach plus the damage. So I really don't mind that. I think that's fine for us. Made him do it, and then this invoke starts to look a lot better on this board. Yeah, we'll snap that up, no problem. Wish we drew something non-landy, but... I'm gonna hold this. We have rummaging. We have looting. Now they need another flyer, or we're in pretty nice spot with using their own 3/3 flyer against them. They're blue, so they may bounce this back. That would be nice. But if that's their whole turn, spending 5 mana to fade our 2-drop, that's pretty good. Just need to find some non-lands. We do have enough going on with card draw that I'm not going to be sandbagging 2 lands, though. I am going to... We have natural card draw where we don't want to leave 2 lands fallow like that. There's the Modern Age that gives us the looting. Let's see what we can get. I will not be ninjutsuing my opponent's creature, I'll say that. Should I just play the 1/1 though? I'm going to start with an attack. I think I should because it's represents lethal next turn, right? They go to 5 off the ping, then 4, 3, 2, 1, and then 0 off the ping. So it increases the clock by a turn if they're out of action. So we're going to make them have it. Yeah, it's a odd splash, but I mean, this is a powerful card in the format. It's getting something. Getting something. And who knows what they chose not to play, right? Maybe they had a bad draft and this was their final playable. And it's like, oh, well, it does something. It's good. Got to do what you got to do. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. Now are we dead? Shoot. I guess we have... No, we can chump. Not... Are we knocking? Knock. All right, well, we're obviously discarding this. How are we dead? We have... Oh, because of the, is there... Does it give trample? Whenever it's put... Then deals X damage to each opponent. So they put a counter on, and we... This becomes deals 4... Well, we're not dead, but we can't attack, right? Pings for 3. Oh, yeah, I guess... yeah, I get... Well, no... Yeah, I guess we're dead if they figure it out. But we're going to make them figure it out. There's a couple of exacting things they have to do, so let's make them do it. So this can at least block here and trade, and then this, yeah, then we're dead. Okay, there you go. Oppo had all these. You got it, Oppo, you got it. All right, no complaints. Only managed the 4 wins. We got to pretty early, but I didn't really necessarily think we were going to get to 4 here. So I'm going to call this result, given my expectations, a happy result. Can I get you to explain looting empty-handed value? That was not a may. If I play the card, it just has to loot. So in that case, it was no choice. It was if I play the card, I have to loot, and I was not going to not play that. But in general, the reason to loot or not to loot when it's not a loot, it's a self-mill. It's just a simple question of whether self-mill is good for me or not. Self-mill is bad for you if it's possible / likely that you're going to lose to decking. It's bad for you if Oppo gets value out of your graveyard and you know that, or if you don't know. I mean, that's the risk, that you put cards into your graveyard that your opponent can use, but generally cards in your own graveyard are good for you. Now, you might know your deck and know that there's literally nothing in it that takes advantage of cards from your graveyard, in which case it's fairly neutral. But if you have the choice and there's a possibility you lose to decking, then you would decline. But there is no reason not to, unless you can specifically name the negatives or cannot name any positives. Mostly just the slightest little positive for you. You've got some sort of recursion is correct. It's the same reason why, unless you're trying to win the game through milling, generally if you have the ability to mill yourself or your opponent, you mill yourself, because Magic is just, especially these days, just flush with graveyard interaction. There's so much going on with the graveyard in Magic that generally when you mill your opponent, you're giving them additional options. Self-mill 1 with no synergy is value because it gives you more info about your deck. Oh, sure, yeah. I mean, it's one thing you know that you're not going to draw. You can do the math a little bit better on what your expectations are. But I doubt that, well, true in terms of your overall knowledge of your deck, I would love to see the moment or moments in time where that affected Reed's play. Like, when did self-mill for deck information alter Reed's play? In a way, like, because the way it might alter it is like, well, we need, the plan is to use card A, and then you accidentally self-mill card A, and you go, okay, I need a new plan. Like, that might alter it, you know? But that's kind of a reason, that would be potentially a reason to not self-mill, is if you were in a spot where you had exactly one out, and if you just could draw it at some point in the game, you should be fine. And, like, really your only problem is if you mill it, and then you wouldn't want to self-mill. Yeah, counter versus kill. That turn, although, was a little messed up by my own distraction, so I'm not sure what the correct thing to do there was in the abstract. But I think in the end, we were going to use all of it, right? I wanted to use all my removal and all my counters and everything, so it probably didn't matter, and going for the most expensive answer was a little more correct. Spending 3 instead of 2, so that we could spend 2 the following turn and have more mana up. Anyway, good chats, good event, fun times. Let's go check our packs. Maybe we have some 10s to open. There we go. Ooh. 1, 2 mythics. All right, busy day ahead. Looks like we got a raid target even, so let's do that. Do you think we should still be saving removal for bombs, or are threats so prevalent now you can use mana when you can? I think it's going to be game to game like it was there. I was very nervous about using that removal when I did, and I didn't win the game, so I didn't replay it out to see if there was something else I could have done with that sequencing. But it depends on your game plan, and it depends on your depth of removal, and it depends on what you think your oppo might do to thwart your game plan. Unfortunately, as it often is with Magic, depends. All right. Good stream. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate your thoughts and hanging out. I'm going to send you on to Jamie now. Have fun. Say hi to Jamie for me.